Welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast with your hosts, Kathy Gruver and Terrie Huberman.
Hi there, I'm Terrie, and welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast.
And I am your co-host, Kathy Gruver, and today we are going to start, as we always do, with an angel card.
Woo!
Woo!
That was the woo meter.
And the woo! The angel card today, celebration!
Hey! That's nice.
Recognize and savor what is important to you and honor it with festivities.
Yes, I'll take it.
Rejoice, have fun, and enjoy the party. So it is party time here at the Intentional Awakening Podcast. And today we are going to talk about purpose.
Yes.
And I have clients, life coaching clients, who sit in my office almost in tears because they don't know their purpose. What is my purpose? I feel like I need to have a purpose. And so I'm going to talk just real briefly, then we'll throw it over to Terrie about what Eckhart Tolle talks about purpose, right?
Yeah.
So in A New Earth, he, at the end of the book, answers reader questions and questions. He went through all his old notes and answered questions from throughout his career, I guess. And one of them was about purpose. And I'm going to paraphrase because I'm not as eloquent as him, but he says we have two purposes. The first overriding purpose for every human on this planet is to awaken, period. Hard stop, end of story. Our job is to awaken. That's our purpose. Now, on a day-to-day basis, we have different purposes, and that depends on what's right in front of us. So when I woke up this morning, I knew we were getting on the podcast, but that wasn't my purpose yet. My purpose was to wake up. My purpose was to get lunch made for my husband. My purpose was to feed the birds. My purpose was to, and first I had to get the bird seed out of my car. Then I had to find my keys. Then I had to get the bird seed out of my car. Then I had to cut the thing open. Then I had to clean up what we spilt because it overflowed. Then we had to, so our purpose is just as right in what is right in front of us. I had a client sitting in front of me and she was complaining about real estate. She's a real estate agent. And I said, "Are you selling anything right now?" And she goes, "Oh, yeah, I have a house." I said, No. As we sit here, are you selling anything? Are you a real estate agent? And she goes, "Oh, well, no, I guess not." I said, "So what is right in front of us is our purpose. Not that we can't plan things, not that we can't problem solve and put things into place for the future, because we do have to do that living in this time-constrained world. But our purpose does not have to be some God-inspired thing. It's whatever's right in front of us, knowing that our purpose as humans is to overwhelmingly, that's not what I meant to say, overarchingly awaken, right? Awaken. But your purpose is this day-to-day, moment by moment, what is right in front of you. And when we get off that, I think that's when we start to feel that discomfort and that unease about what's happening. So that's my take. Terrie, what are you thinking?
Well, first of all, I love because I had never heard that about our overarching purpose is to awaken, but that makes total and complete sense because that is the reason why we are human wearing earth suits, which is to evolve. So that makes complete and total sense to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. So if everybody keeps that in mind, we're automatically living our purpose. So you get a purpose. You get a purpose. Everybody's got a purpose. So we're already doing that. So that to me is really awesome. I did not know that. So thank you for sharing that. It's interesting because my perspective of purpose is similar, but it's also different in that it is not necessarily how we earn an income. A lot of people get entangled in their purpose having to reflect their income. I understand that will give you meaning to what you do for a job, but your purpose, when I teach about purpose, which I'm going to now actually throw in Eckhart Tolle's, we're here to awaken, totally throwing that in. It is about giving your gift away and not hoarding it. Each individual human has a specialty, has a gift, has something special about them. And so when you're sharing that with other people, you are energetically influencing them. Because again, if we get down to the science of energy, is energy influences energy. So let's say one of mine is that I know since I was 25, I was here to make people smile. I don't know in what capacity, how I'm going to do that, right? But the how is none yet. That's between you and God, right? But my purpose is to make people smile, right? I just knew it. And so since 25, it's been part of my value system as well, right? So the thing is that if I'm not here making people smile, I'm keeping all those smiles to myself, I'm gonna feel it and it's gonna be hard to connect with other people. It's gonna be hard to just do a whole bunch of things. I'm not gonna feel like I'm living my purpose because we're supposed to be giving this gift away. So one of the gifts that I give away are smiles,
I love it.
so people like to complicate things. In the spiritual world, people love to complicate things. So you can sit there and you can go, okay, well, what is my purpose? I mean, I'm a mom. Maybe that's my purpose. Or, I do marketing and maybe my purpose is to, well, you can have those things. And if you're gifted in those things, but you're not giving it to somebody, you're not living out your purpose.
Yep.
From my perspective.
Well, and also let me just say something to what you just said, which is, oh, I'm a mom. Maybe that's my purpose. Okay, but you're not going to be a mom forever.
Right.
Because the kid's going to grow up and go away. And I've seen that screw up people where they're micromanaging their 50-year-old child. And it's like,
Right.
dude, stop. Right. And also, if you're not actively momming, well, that's not your purpose.
Right. Right.
Like right now, I'm not a massage therapist. I ain't touching anybody. I'm not a coach right now. I'm not a wife right now. I'm not a daughter right now. It's like right now, my purpose is I'm a podcast co-host. Like, that's my purpose.
Yeah.
And I think there's a difference between purpose and calling.
Sure.
And I think people, let's take the word purpose out. They should have this calling from God of what their grand thing is to be. And I think you're right. I think they do equate that with job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just semantics at that point, right? But I don't, other than this overarching wake up thing, I don't know that there's this torn on this is the paradox thing, right? Of whether there is this one path that you're supposed to be on. I mean, I know from when I was a child, I was meant to be in the healing profession. It was just thrown in front of me constantly. I'm really good at it. I love doing it. I get to share that with people. I'm pretty damn sure that my calling was to be somehow in the healing profession that I get to help people, mixed with the humor and the performing. Because if I'm not having fun with it and making people laugh, then I'm not doing it right.
Yeah.
So there is this parallel for me, this path of the performing and the creativity and the healing. That has always been with me from the time I was a little kid.
I think a lot of it, like if we were to really sit here, break it down, dissect it, if you think about it, a lot of purpose, if we're going to call it purpose, is or could potentially be about how we live out our value system or our values. So that could be a good way to start. If you don't know what your purpose is, well, what do you value? Do you value?
Oh, totally.
Do you value happiness? Do you value money? And there's no judgment on any of this, no matter what you value.
Yep.
And then from there, see where you can go.
Yep. And to that point, I have had one of the first exercises I tend to do with coaching clients, especially if they're confused about where they're going next or they don't know who they are anymore. I have a values exercise that I have them do. And, I had done this in a group for a hypnotherapy conference. And I think it's so important to know what your values are because that helps dictate the decisions you make. Yeah. It helps guide you on this road of what am I going to do next?
Yeah.
On a side note, I just looked up the word purpose, and the word purpose said the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. That's just the base, going. In the archaic world, it was have something as one's intention or objective. But again, you can't know that without values, right? And I was actually thinking you and I should do the values exercise like separately and then have an episode where we talk about our values. So I'll send you
that. Yeah.
I'll send you the value cards. But it's going to look very differently. If you're a stage hypnotist, your values might be fame,
Right.
popularity, and wealth,
Right.
which is going to look very different for someone that volunteers at the local VA for
Yep.
helping people with PTSD. It might be service,
Sure.
helpfulness, and kindness.
Yeah.
And unless you know what your values are, and you're not going to, I mean, you might fall into it, but you're probably going to be confused when crossroads come up of what
Yeah.
you're going to do. And I give people a certain number of values. I don't give them, but I let them pick a certain number of values. And then as we move forward with the coaching relationship and they have a decision to make, it's like, is that in alignment with your values? You said your values were humor, fun, and adventure. And this is going to be a desk job in a company
Right.
that you never get to leave your desk and there's cubicles. And, is that going to fit fun, humor, and adventure? Or are you going to take the lower paid one that allows you to travel?
Right.
This is where the values come into play.
Yeah. And that's why I was saying there should be no judgment on the values, because what's important to you is different to someone else. So that's why I would say, like, money, people see, oh, money is the root of all evil, or someone else can say, yeah, but money allows me to, give charity. So it's like, we can't have the judgment of what the values are. And again, if we're here to give away whatever makes us special and wonderful, we shouldn't be judging that.
Right.
Because
100%.
it's going to stop us from that.
Living that purpose.
From living that purpose.
Yeah. So to recap.
Yeah.
Overarching value.
Yes.
Or not, scratch that. Edit that.
Scratch it.
Overarching purpose. Overarching purpose to awaken. Thank you, Eckhart.
Yeah.
And then our purpose day to day changes with whatever's in front of us to do. And this calling that we're going to name it is sort of a collection of values to give us this gift that we can give away.
Yeah. I love it.
Good recap. Love it.
That's pretty good.
I am Kathy Gruver. I can be reached at kathygruver.coach.
And I'm Terrie Huberman. You can catch me at terriehuberman.com. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Intentional Awakening Podcast. We will see you in our next episode.